What's up, Culture Crew? I'm Ash.
And I'm T. And if you're looking for curated conversations that connect you to the culture,
Keep
hey,
listening.
hey,
What's good,
hey.
y'all?
It is our last episode of the season. We made it through a whole season with y'all. Yes, thanks for rocking with us. Thanks for rocking with us. And if you're new here, we start every episode with
Tea
tea
time.
time. So today we are going to be talking about the new year, kind of as we prepare, as we go in. I know everybody has different like traditions and things they kind of do towards the end of the year. Ash, what are some of the things that you do?
Well, I think that growing up, people always are like, yeah, write down your New Year's resolution and do
Mhm.
this and that. And then as I became an adult, I was like, wait, the resolutions are not getting done.
Period.
So what does that actually practically look like?
Right.
Towards the end of the year, last year, I went on Canva, which is like, if you know me, I love a little Canva. And I put together a bunch of like pictures of myself, me and my partner, and I put it together and I put words like of things that I wanted to embody
Mm.
in the new year. And for me, I find that to be a better way of like rounding off the year and going into the next one because it allowed me to do it in a creative outlet sort of way. And I
Yeah.
also found on TikTok the little girlies who was like, make your vision board into a puzzle. Did that, absolutely loved it. That was
Ooh.
super fun. So that's kind of what I do. And I also like at the end of the year express a whole lot of gratitude
Mhm.
to people that carried me through that year because I think that's really important to do. What about you?
Absolutely. First of all, the puzzle idea is super cute. I never thought
10 out of
about that,
10.
but that's super cute. Might have to take that one. I saw on TikTok a girl who made her goals into like a bingo card.
I saw
And I thought that that was so creative and so fun. So I'm going to try to do that this year because I think the like competitive person in me would like really appreciate like being able to go in and being like, yes, like I got a bingo. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like I crossed this stuff off. Um, I agree. I think that when we were younger, I used to hear a lot about like just New Year resolutions, like I'm gonna do this, or I want to do more of this or
Mhm.
less of whatever. And it didn't ever really stick for
Right.
real. Like you kind of say it, you fall off, it is what it is. But vision boards, like always recommend. Like, and I used to I put mine in my bathroom so that, I see it
Oh, that's good.
every single day because it's like, oh, now that I've taken these pictures, these words and put together what it is that I want to accomplish, I have to see it.
Yeah,
Like I have to see it because then you want like your daily actions to be like
sure.
cultivating into what it is you're trying to achieve. And I
Right.
think that that goes for it's like double-sided. So there's the idea that like there's just certain things that I want out of life generally. Like and that's kind of the stuff I put
Mm.
on my vision board like abundance and gratitude and peace
Right.
and stuff like that. But then I do set like goals, like,
Mhm.
smart goals even,
Yeah,
use the template and everything
I like that.
because I feel like if I don't know
Mhm.
where I'm trying to get to, like I'm
Right.
not gonna do it. Like if there's no plan, like it's definitely not happening.
Right.
Like one of the easiest things, like money wise, and my partner actually is the one who taught me to do this, but he was like, instead of saving monthly, like save bi-weekly, like with your
Mm.
check so that you get 2 or 3 extra ones by the end of the year or whatever.
Oh,
But it
I
was
like
like,
that.
yeah, like, it sneak up on you like, "Ooh, where's little extra?" Okay, yeah, because you get paid 3 times, like a
Mhm.
couple months or whatever. But it was just I have to make a plan. Like,
Yeah.
I have to make a real I'm gonna save this much money every check. This is what it's gonna total up to by the end of the year. If I don't do that, it's not happening. Like,
Mm.
it's just a dream. at that point. Like it's not
Yeah.
even really a goal. It's just a dream.
It's just a figment of my imagination.
Like it's just it sounds good. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like if I ever say something to Ashley and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do this, and she'll be like, oh, okay. Like waiting
When?
for follow up. Like,
Is
okay,
it now, like, or later? When?
what are we doing? Because if
Mhm.
there is no follow up, it's just not gonna happen.
Right.
So
I
yeah.
love that.
Yeah. And
That's really good.
so as we go into the new year and talking about reflection, and Ashley, I know you said that you always try to end the year with a whole lot of gratitude, and I absolutely love that. I do want
Yeah.
to talk about reflections and things inside of the classroom. I know that
Mm.
when I was in my teacher preparation program, one of the things that they always kept saying was that it was important to be a reflective
Practitioner.
practitioner.
Yeah. They
Yes.
love to say that.
What does that mean to you, Ashley? What does that mean?
Well, I want to start off by saying that doesn't mean that you have to be hard on yourself
Mhm.
every single day. Like, let's be for real. We've all, well, maybe some of us haven't, but I've had an admin that was not supportive, and they
Mhm.
call it, this is just me showing you how to be a reflective practitioner. No, it's really you telling me every single way I suck at my job, but I'm trying my
Right.
best, right? So I just want to start off by saying it doesn't have to mean that, but it does mean to continue learning. I
Mm.
think that the same way we want our students to have a joy for learning new things and try new things and new concepts, I think that's really what it means to be a reflective practitioner. Like, hey, where can I continue to learn and grow? What are some things I don't know about when it comes to my students, instructional practices, techniques, and reflecting on maybe, okay, I don't know this, so how can I gain this information? It doesn't always mean I'm going to look at the data. Oh, the students didn't do well in this test, I'm going to all of a sudden be so super hard on myself. There can be a
Right.
lot of factors that play into students not performing well or doing well on in data and
That's
assessments.
true.
So we
Mhm.
ain't even got
Yeah.
to get into that, but that's kind of what it means to me. How do you think that you apply that reflective practitioner and all that kind of stuff?
I think it was funny that like you knew exactly what I was gonna say when I said reflective practitioner. Yeah, that is definitely one of the buzzwords. I think to me it just means being open to reflection, honestly.
Mm-hmm,
Like being
mm-hmm.
able to take a step back enough to
Right.
sit and say, okay, this is what's going on right now. What do I love about this? What do I not so much love about this? How can I adjust, adapt,
Yeah.
be flexible to kind of just try to get closer to the outcome that I'm looking for? Because like you said, like let's be honest, there are so many factors with so many things inside of the classroom. Like
Heck yeah.
it could have absolutely nothing to do with you. Like you could be
Literally
doing
nothing.
it just don't got nothing to do with you. So I think that being a reflective practitioner, like just being open to adapting depending
Mm-hmm.
on what you have reflected upon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so now that I've reflected, the action that goes behind
Right.
reflecting, like the
Right.
follow-up, is super important. So I think that's kind of the biggest thing that sticks out to me about being a reflective practitioner.
Yeah.
And I know for sure there were some things that I reflected on that I then had to make changes and follow up
Changes.
on. You think, Ash, can you think of a time when you were in the classroom of anything that you reflected on that you experienced some growth from, or that you were like, "Ooh, I'm doing this and I need to not be doing that," or "I'm not doing this and I need to be doing that." Anything at all?
Yeah. Let me tell y'all about something. Okay. You know, everybody talking about standing on business.
Mhm, mhm.
Well, I had to learn that I had to stand on business, and I learned that the hard way. I
Period.
had a parent of one of my students. She also happened to be a principal at not my school, at another school. Um, and she was trying me. I'm
Ooh.
not sure if she was trying me because of my age, or,
Mm,
her thinking that she could boss me around because she was a principal at another school within the district
mm.
and she thought she knew this, that, and the
You thought
third.
she had a little
But she,
pull. Mhm.
And at first, I'm gonna tell you, she was asking me for some unrealistic things, and at first I gave it to her. But then I realized this lady is not only taking advantage of me, but she's also trying to bully me, and use her stature or, her seniority
Yeah, her
with it,
status.
her status to intimidate me. And I was like, okay, actually, you need to stand on business, right? She's talking to you
Period.
crazy. Well, guess what? Respectfully, you've got the wrong one. Right.
Mhm.
And so what it taught me to do was not only be really sure in myself when I'm standing up to parents who were coming at me incorrectly, but also I had all the data. I was like, you know what? Here's
Yes.
this folder of information to show you that I'm doing my job the way I'm supposed to be doing it, since you think that you can question that. And if you are a teacher watching this, you got to save every single email, every
Mhm.
single message, every single test score, every single
Mhm.
student work, everything. Save everything. It taught me to make sure that I have all of the evidence that shows how I show up in the professional setting, like in the classroom. So
Absolutely. That's the, what did she used to call see ya, cover yo bleep, you know? That's what they said.
no,
And
literally.
when they first said it, I was like, "Guys, I don't need a paper trail for everything.
Mm-mm.
Like, come on. We
No,
all
but
have
you
the
do.
same goal here."
You do need a paper trail, and it also taught me how to organize. Like, make sure
Yeah.
I'm pretty organized as it is, but like after that instance with that very difficult parent, I was like, okay,
Mhm.
every single student needs to have a file, right? Because if anybody
Mhm.
else comes in my classroom or tries to have a parent teacher conference with me and it's like, oh, this isn't what happened, here's the data to prove that this is indeed what happened.
Exactly what
Um,
happened, if you'd like to
so
review.
if you'd like to review. So it taught me that the hard way. That was a really hard scenario, but I had to
Mm.
reflect.
I love that though. I
Yeah.
also love how you can have the right one or the wrong one depending on
And
what
it
you're
means
talking
like low key the
about.
same thing.
No, I love that. But yeah, I think that that's super important. I think that a lot of the time teachers are
Mm-hmm.
taken advantage of and low key bullied in that sense because that our best interest, we have the kids' best interest at heart. Like,
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, like, that I'm gonna do what I need to do for these kids and stuff like that. People really will try to take advantage
They
of
will
that
try
fact.
to.
So I'm glad you learned how to stand up for yourself because
Hey, I had to stand on business.
they will try it. Stand on business, period.
Period.
All right.
Period.
I'm trying to think of like an instance like that with reflection. I think that mine was kind of the opposite in the sense of like I was wrong. Like I was
Mm,
big wrong. And again, as you said
mm,
before, like giving yourself a little bit of grace, but because it was my first year teaching, but
mm,
it was a sense where I had been doing everything for this child like by the book. Oh, I reached out
mm,
to a parent through email. I called the number that was on
mm-hmm.
file. I did this. I did this. Like, I followed the protocol, and the student
Mm-hmm.
ended up failing, the first quarter. And when I was having my review with my admin, they kept asking me all these questions of like, oh, did you like follow up again?
Mm.
Did you reach out again? Did you try using this
Ah,
number? Did you ask the student if their parents got a new phone? Stuff like that. And I was like, wait, none of that is in
you didn't write that down.
the guide book. Y'all ain't told me to do all that. Like, and
Yes.
but then I was like, dang, reflecting, I was like, there are definitely ways that I could have tried to reach this parent
Sure.
more to get them involved. And do I have to do it? Not
No.
necessarily. Because like I said, I followed the protocol. I did everything I was supposed to do. But because I cared about my
Right.
students, it was like, okay, I'm not going above and beyond to prove to anything to my administrators, but like if you really want to have an impact, sometimes it takes an extra step. Sometimes you have to go outside of what the manual
Mhm.
says is the
Mhm.
necessary step to get to that next level. And I think that
Yeah.
that's something that I had to learn, especially given the fact that I was working in a low socioeconomic school.
That'll
Like
do it.
the regular stuff just ain't gonna work. Like it's just
Mm-mm.
not gonna give it. Like, I'm sorry. when you got parents working 2-3 jobs, ma'am, you cannot call me at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday and think that I got 30 minutes to talk
To talk to
about
you.
my son's schoolwork. Like, I just don't, you know? So then I did have to start doing extra stuff. And it went to the point where it just became kind of a part of what it is. And it's so
Yeah.
hard
It is
because
hard.
it demands so much of you.
Woo.
So much of you as a teacher. Like, I had one student, I literally asked him for his basketball schedule because he said that his dad goes to all of his basketball games. So I asked him for his basketball schedule, and I popped up at the game to support you, but also, oh, Mr.
Also,
Such, while we're here, I do
can
happen
we
to
have
have
a conversation?
my teacher bag. Let's talk real quick before, you know, during halftime, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's like, it takes a lot out of you
Yeah,
to
it
do
does.
that. You know, but that is something that I reflected on that I felt like was a really key part of becoming the educator that I was. So,
Yeah, that's tricky though. It's
it is.
hard to sit back and be like, I was wrong, or I need to do better. Like, it's really hard to do that. Like, and most people can't.
Honestly, like, just in general, like, even outside of professional.
Yeah, like just in general.
Just people do not reflect great.
No.
Like,
We love to say reflective practitioner, like when we're describing ourselves for a job, or like, you know, our little bio, we're like, oh, and she's a reflective practitioner. Is she really?
Is
Like,
she? Are you?
am
Do
I
you reflect? Do you reflect? But one of my mentor teachers actually gave me like a little journal for my first year of teaching.
Oh, I love that.
And yeah, it was so cute. And I left her real bad. But so I would write stuff down, you know, and honestly, at first it was just a venting journal. Like, that's all it was. It was like, this child getting on my nerves. This child don't sit
Yeah.
down. Why? I had to do this. I had to do this. But when I went back and read it, which is the reflective part, it actually revealed to me that I was hyper focused
On certain
kids. That everything this child did got under my skin. And so I reacted to everything this child did. No wonder you're getting in so much trouble if I'm already expecting that
yeah.
you're going to get in trouble
Hello.
already. I already know. You know them kids. Know them kids that you come in the room first thing in the morning, you already like, ooh.
You like, here we go.
Ooh, they about to work my nerves today. They about to work my nerves. But what you have to realize, and, you know, we talk about this a lot in the training that we do with bias, is that you are literally creating a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yep.
If you think that they're going to irritate you, they definitely
are.
Like,
they are.
There is no way around.
They are going to irritate you.
There's no way around it. So I think that that is one of the most important things about being reflective, is that it does reveal things about your teaching practice that you may want to change, things that you may want to say, I need to do this better. I need to do less of this and more of this, you know?
Yeah, facts.
So I think one of the other things that I lacked, though, was valuing like self-care inside of the classroom when I was there.
What does that even mean?
So, Ashley, were you taking good care of yourself when you were
The answer
teaching?
is no. The answer is H no. If we're being for real, like if we're being so for real,
Yeah,
BFFR, like
not at all. Just
no. What does that even mean?
What is
I was
self-care?
not taking care of myself. I was not showing up for me because I was too busy showing up for everybody else. And then when I transitioned out of the classroom, it's almost like I didn't even know what that meant to take a moment to relax.
Right.
Like, I would rush and eat my lunch if I even ate lunch that day. I'm like, okay, let me eat these crackers right quick. Let me run to the copier. First of all, I barely had time to do that because half the time the kids were in the classroom eating lunch. Like, we had the schedule where only like kindergarten, first, and second grade students were eating classroom in the cafeteria. So my students would go to the cafeteria, pick up their lunch, and then eat in the classroom. There's no
What do
time
you
for me to eat,
mean?
go to the
Actually,
bathroom.
wait, what do you mean? Like you was eating your lunch with the kids in the classroom?
Correct. Correct. And there was supposed to be lunch coverage. However, that
Right.
very rarely
We
happened.
we know how that goes. We know how coverage goes. So
So how am I supposed to go to the bathroom, eat
wow.
my lunch when kids are walking? Can you open up this juice bag? Can you do this? Can you do that? I guess I just won't eat, and I guess I'll just hold my pee till I get home. Because
Honestly, it's
so
bad for your
self-care was
kidneys.
non-existent. But I
Yeah.
did have a principal. She was really great. My other principals, not so much. But I did have this one principal. Her name was Dr. Ashford. Dr. Ashford, I really love you, because when I would go to her and be like, I actually can't, like, I cannot. She was like, take a day off. And I was like, are you sure? Are
Mm.
you sure? Like,
Mm.
she was like, take a day off and it's fine. One time I went in her office, I was sick, but I was like, I gotta come to work. I was sick. Dr. Asher was like, go home right now and we'll figure it out. And she
Yeah.
literally she wrote me a note that was like,
Wow.
Miss Bridges is excused. Go home now. Like, so I
Wow.
really appreciated her for that, because I
Yeah, that's
wasn't taking care of
awesome.
myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had any tips or tricks of self-care in the classroom, but honey, I
LOL.
didn't know.
Yeah, no. It was not a thing. I wasn't taking care of myself. And I think that I want to shed light on that though, because teachers listening, you have to take care of yourself. Like
Yes,
I
you do.
know it feels impossible. I
It
know.
does.
It
Impossible.
feels like there is no way that I'm going to be able to do both. Like how am I going to be able to, cuz it's counterintuitive almost at that point. But
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that step back is going to show you, okay, you have to take care of yourself so that you can keep showing up as your best self for the students, which is what we know you want to be able to do.
Mhm.
I was not taking care of myself. And I definitely was in an environment where it felt like I couldn't. Like I didn't have
Mhm.
space to do that. Like, "Oh,
Mhm.
you're not here? That's crazy because we barely got coverage for all the classes we do have, so now I gotta find a substitute for you somehow." Like, I don't know. It was always very there was a lot of guilt
A lot of guilt.
associated with it, and I think that when you're in the helping profession, you be feeling like the
Yeah.
whole school's gonna burn down if you don't come
Yeah.
into work. Like, I'm going to ruin everybody's day. Like, this is gonna be a horrible day for everybody if I don't come into work. But you gotta
Yeah.
release yourself from that, you know?
Yeah, you
Like,
do. Yeah.
it's too much. It's too much
It
pressure,
is.
first of
Yeah.
all, and it's gonna make you sick.
It
Like,
is. It's gonna
your
make you sick.
your mental health, like, manifesting itself as physical ailments is, like, a real thing. Like, yeah, you have a stomach ache. Yeah, you have a headache.
Yes.
Yeah, you
Because
do.
you're sick, you're stressed. And don't let parents of your student, if you're a first year or brand new teacher, don't let parents of your students or admin like
Mhm.
guilt trip you into not setting boundaries for your after
Mhm.
work life. You
Mhm.
do not have to respond to that email at 7 p.m. Like, you don't. You really don't. You're probably already grading papers. So
Right.
just don't. Like, you actually don't have to do that. Like, and parents do not have to have access to you after hours. Like, they are not entitled to access. So make sure you don't let people bully you or guilt trip you into doing that, because that's where my self-care fell short the most, is because
Mhm.
I was like, well, I guess this is just part of the job. I just have to do that. And
Mhm. Yeah.
you don't. So just want to let y'all know.
That's a word. And I think there's so many aspects of teaching that fall into that category, that you feel like you just have to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
you don't. You know, just because your team lead teacher does it, just because your principal would appreciate it, just
You
because
don't have to.
we usually no, we won't be doing that. Not here. them boundaries gonna save your life every time.
Set them.
So
They will save your life and
every time.
relationships in your life, your friendships, your familial relationships. The boundaries, set them, not just for work, but just in general. Set
Key.
some boundaries. And
Key.
people do not have to understand your boundaries in order to respect them.
Hmm. Ashley, that's quotable right there. Write that down. Where that lady with the notebook? With the note. Come
With the
on.
notebook, right? So
Come with it.
letting y'all know.
Okay.
I'm just letting y'all
People
know.
do not have to understand your boundaries to respect them.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They don't have to get it. They do not have to get why you do the things you do or why you don't like certain things. They don't have to get it. They just need to respect it. And the same goes for other people's boundaries. I don't have to understand Tiana's boundaries in order to respect that this is something that she does not like. Right? Period.
And you can
So,
judge it. Judge it if you want to, but respect it is what you will
but
do.
hello?
That's
Because
it.
Tiana go put her phone on do not disturb every day.
What's gonna happen is that it's already set. Like I don't even do it manually anymore. It just I don't even know what time. Honestly, couldn't even tell you what time it goes into do not disturb. But what I won't
About
do,
8 p.m. About
what
8
I won't.
p.m.
Ashley said I can tell you. But what I won't do is be disturbed.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Right.
like because I know for a fact that after that time when I'm starting to wind down for the night, I don't want to deal.
Right.
Whatever it is, it can wait
Right.
until the morning. And if it
It can.
can't, because you know those certain people that can like get through and people can call you twice and you know there's caveats in place of course, but like on a day to day, you don't need to talk to me. You don't. Not really.
Not really for
Not
real.
at the like at the demise of like my own peace. You know what I'm saying? Like
Mhm.
it would be nice. It might make your day easier if you get to talk to me right now. But if it's
Right.
going to cost me my peace, I can't do it.
Let it
Sorry.
go.
So sorry it's inconvenient for you, but
Oh
can't do
well.
it.
It'll be all right.
And they will be okay. And I think a
Mhm.
lot of teachers need to hear that, you know, like everybody will be okay. Your students will be okay. The parents will be okay. Your admin will be
We'll be
okay.
okay.
All right. So I think that is super important just to talk about that. And even like as we go into the new year and we're setting like personal goals, I
Mhm.
remember being in the classroom and feeling like there were certain teacher goals that I had to like
Yeah.
cause you know the first half of the year ain't always hit the way you want it to.
Yeah, the
You
way it
know,
was like supposed to hit
you
for
know,
real.
it ain't always give that. And I think that a lot of teachers set goals
Mhm.
for after winter break. When we get back, you know, we're gonna get back into these routines. We're gonna, you know, make sure everything is everything. Um,
Mhm.
and so I just wanted to talk a little bit about like, you know, because here at, you know, Culture Conversations, when we talk about being a culturally responsive practitioner and reaching cultural competency, if that is one
Mhm.
of your goals for the new year, I feel like that those are the kind of resources and strategies that we really aim to provide for you
Yeah.
guys. Like we
Yeah.
want to make it easier for you
Easy
to
for you.
reach your goal of becoming a culturally competent educator. And we
Mhm.
are going to drop our little freebie into the show notes. Yes, I think you guys are really going to love it. It's about the different celebrations and things that happen in the winter time because it's not just Merry Christmas, it's Happy Holidays around here.
Happy holidays
Okay.
now, okay?
All right. Because there are so many different holidays, and it's super important for you to ask your students about the traditions and things that they celebrate during this
Right.
time so that they feel included in what you're doing inside of your classroom.
Correct.
So, Ashley, did you have anything else that you
Yeah,
wanted to hit on?
I just feel like I just want to drive home the fact that continue learning and giving yourself grace to not know, or
Mhm.
grace to say I messed this up. I haven't gotten this yet. Grace to say, okay, well, I want to learn this, even though I don't feel like learning it, I still have to do it anyway. Two things can be true at once. You can be
Hello.
annoyed about something and still do it. You can be frustrated with a task, but still get it done. And it's okay that both of those things can exist simultaneously,
Yeah.
especially when you're trying to learn how to be a more culturally competent educator. It's really about giving yourself grace to learn and grow in areas that you don't know. We are still continually trying to do that, not just with our business, but just as educators in general. We're always trying to learn how can we show up a little bit better in the world and for our students.
Absolutely. Well,
Yes, sir.
guys, that's season 1. It's a wrap. Okay. That is a wrap. So in the
We did it.
meantime, in between time, where can they find us on the socials?
Follow us everywhere at Get Cultured EDU, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever it's called, TikTok, LinkedIn, YouTube, everywhere where you are, we are also there. So make sure you get connected.
Yes. And so we are going to be taking a break for a little while, but we will be back mid-January-ish for season 2. And we will see you guys then. In the meantime, stay blessed. Keep doing it for the culture. And we'll see y'all then in 2024.
Happy holidays.
Bye.